Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
The sounds of the season can often sound like this.
So, when are we getting some grandkids?
But with Hilton's Season to Stay sale, they could sound a bit more like this. Or this. Stay and save up to 20% off when you book before January 5th at Hilton.com. Hilton, for the stay. Minimum 2-night stay required. Excludes luxury and all-inclusive properties. Terms and conditions apply.
He had already called my job 9 times and told them that I hit a parked car with a truck. So they were waiting on the police to cite me or send something. So they told me for 2.5 weeks that I wasn't allowed to drive my truck. So I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't make any money. I couldn't do anything because he lied.
This is the plaintiff, Robert Mock. He says the defendant's married to his 16-year-old daughter's mother, and the guy backed his semi-truck into the car he bought her, and the guy won't pay for the damages he caused. He never apologized for crashing into the car. He refuses to take responsibility, so he's here to teach him a lesson and is suing him for the $6,000. He's now out. This is the defendant, Aaron Keith Enoch Jr. He says he's doing the job of being a dad to the plaintiff's daughter, and he did slightly damage the car because a tire rolled into it. He agreed to fix the damage, but the plaintiff wants him to also fix all the other damages to the car, which he didn't cause, and he refuses. So here they are. He's accused of causing a family squabble. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $4,500 for defamation.
All parties, please use your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Milian is now presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Enoch, tip your hat back so I can at least see the whites of your eyes. That's all I insist on.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Okay. Mr. Mock, what happened?
I got a phone call from my daughter, who's 16, that...
How do you two know each other?
This is my daughter's mom's husband.
This is your daughter's stepdad?
Correct.
How long have you been married to...
We've been married for 9 years, and I've been around for 10.
Okay, and the daughter's how old?
About to be 17.
Okay, so go on.
So she called me and said that the defendant, Keith, damaged my car. And I'm like, well, how did he do it? And she pretty much said, well, he told me that the tire fell off the back of his truck and hit the car. And I said, well, go FaceTime me, go outside, look at the car. And I was like, there's no way the tire did that.
All right, let's see. Do you have pictures of the damage?
Yes.
This is before, this is the damage. This one is a picture of the damage.
Correct.
Okay. Go on.
So initially I was like, okay, well, because he's a Class A driver, I initially didn't call the cops. I just said, well, just have them send me their insurance information, because I was like, I just don't
Are
know.
you not on speaking terms with her mother?
Just text message.
Okay, so did you text her and say what happened?
I just texted her and asked her just for the insurance information.
So you didn't say, hey, what happened? She showed me the like there was no preamble. It's just give me your insurance information?
Well, I just said, she obviously knew what happened. And I said, well, can I get the insurance information?
And what did she say?
No response.
Okay.
So about a week later, my daughter gets an insurance document from her mom that he presented to her mom and said, Dad, this is the insurance information. I was like, well, I text her mom. I said, hey, can you send another picture of the insurance information, because no one can read it. Okay. No response. I said, okay. I said, okay, after a few days of no response, I was like, okay, well, go outside and take a picture of his truck.
Okay, can I ask a couple of questions? Your daughter is where?
Ohio.
Okay, and you live where?
in South Florida, Miami.
Okay, and so, all right, so you're trying to handle all this
over the phone.
Right. Okay, so go on.
So maybe 10 days or so had passed since it happened, and I get this insurance information, and I'm like, okay, take a picture of the truck. Now I got the plate, now I got the DOT number. Now I'm calling in the state of Indiana for the information.
Because you can't, what
what
information were you asking for? You know who owns it.
We couldn't read the insurance document that he gave.
Oh, I see.
Was not legible. So I was like, well, no one can read that. Like the way it's in there.
What is this a picture of?
That's his truck.
That he parks in
the driveway.
Okay, and is this a company truck?
No, ma'am. It's mine. I own the truck.
It's your own. You own the truck. All right, so go on.
So once we were able to figure out the name of the company that he works for, finally the company called me back and said, well, he wasn't working for us during the time.
Right. If it's his truck and he's out of his house, it wouldn't be a company thing.
Right. And then there's no response from her mom. And he hasn't picked up the phone and
what about your daughter?
Me.
Like your daughter's almost an adult. Is she saying, I need the insurance information? Like, is she hustling?
She's asked her mom, and her mom told her, let them deal with it.
Okay, go on.
So she's going to her senior year, playing volleyball, has a job, great student, great kid. And then she's calling me, Dad, when is my car going to get fixed? And I'm like, I got to go through this process.
Is the car insured
by me?
All right,
so my insurance company finally got his information after I had to come in and get a police report. So they wanted me to have a police report. So I had to fly in because it's a small city. They don't allow you to do it online. So they said, you have to fly in to do this. And I didn't want to send my daughter to the police station. They said you could send her. And I was like, I'm not sending her to the police station. I've already sent her to one body shop. I said, I'm not sending you. You're only 16. You shouldn't have to deal with this.
Okay.
So I had to fly in, do the police report, show them the insurance document. So it finally came down to, before I accepted any money from my insurance, I reached out to Keith and asked him, the body shop said it's $5,500, or you can just get her another car. If you get another car, I'll give you this car.
Okay.
And he said no.
All right. So what happened, Mr. Enoch?
Your Honor, I was at home and it was late at night. I was I have tires attached to the back of my truck, right? And I was trying to pull one off, right? And I instead of being in my driveway, I parked on the street because it's an incline in my driveway. I don't back the truck. I don't back out of my driveway in the first place. I back my truck into my driveway. So me hitting a car, a Ford Focus with a 35,000-pound Peterbilt is nonsense. So she had backed into a pole. Not too long before that, into a fence. Now, me being hurt.
Wait, stop. She had backed into a fence or a pole?
A fence or a pole, fence post or something.
How long ago?
A couple months before. The dent was already there. It's a couple months before.
Wait, but that's more than a dent. I mean, that's a pretty...
Yeah, she had backed the bumper and busted the light and all that stuff. She had backed into it already.
Do you have any proof of that?
No, Your Honor. I would never.
Did your daughter ever tell you that she had backed into a fence or...
She did, but not to that damage.
Okay, so we know it happened, but we don't have any evidence of how bad that damage was versus this damage.
I hit the quarter panel, Your Honor. I hit the quarter panel. It was already bashed in. The light was already busted.
What did you hit the quarter panel with?
I have buckles. If you look at the pictures of the truck, Your Honor, I have buckles on the tires, right? I wrap them up, and that tire's on the right-hand side, and one of them had rusted, and I pulled it off, and I was pulling, and I ended up pulling, threw it across, and it went right into the car and the quarter panel.
Okay.
Well, it was already damaged, but the quarter panel wasn't pushed in as far.
All right, so why didn't you get her car fixed if you're her stepdad and you've been around for so long and it was your fault?
Well, Your Honor, I kind of had a heart attack. And
what do you mean?
I had a cardiopulmonary.
Oh, you mean you actually had a heart attack?
Yes,
you
Your
weren't.
Honor.
That wasn't.
And no, I wasn't.
Okay.
I wasn't playing.
In relation to the accident, when did you have the heart attack?
Just a few weeks after, but in the meantime, he had already called my job 9 times and told them that I hit a parked car with a truck. So they were waiting on the police to cite me or send something. So they told me for 2.5 weeks that I wasn't allowed to drive my truck. So I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't make any money. I couldn't do anything because he lied. He also told the courts that I didn't have insurance. I have bobtail insurance. It's right there, Your Honor. I have bobtail insurance in the insurance forms.
What's bobtail insurance?
It's when I don't have a truck and I don't have a load. When I don't have a trailer and I don't have a load, I can drive it around the city and do what I need to do when I'm not loaded. So, I mean, and you have to do that in between one load and the next. You have to drive around unloaded. So we're not uninsured in between the time that I pick up one load and drop a load off and the time I go to another city or another state and grab another load. That's nonsense. It's unreal. That would never be.
Okay, so when he filed this lawsuit against you, did you notify your bobtail insurance that you were being sued?
I notified the company. He had already notified the company, so that was outside the realm of anything. They were calling me, right? And they were calling me right away like, well, you're not going to be able to get on the road until this is adjudicated.
Right, so, but what I don't get is why didn't they just pay?
Because I told him it wasn't a vehicle accident, so my insurance is...
but you were working on, you were at the car and pulling a tire off the car.
Yeah.
They didn't consider that, did you?
The truck wasn't turned on at the time. I wasn't operating the vehicle at all. I was trying to get tires and put them in the garage.
So what efforts did you make to help? Do you have a good relationship with your stepdaughter?
You want to see the pictures, Your Honor? I'm at every single thing. At every single thing that she does, I'm the announcer at her games. I'm the one calling her name out. When she's crying or she loses a game, I'm the one that's there holding her head at night. And when she's sick, I'm the one that when she's throwing up, I'm the one holding the bucket and holding her hair back. I don't know what this dude is talking about. Why don't you just call her and ask her?
Yeah, but what I want to understand, though, he's the one who bought her the car. The car is under his name, I presume. And so he has a right to sue if there's damage to the car, which you've readily admitted there was. The only debate here is how much damage. What did your insurance company, and by the way, what position does your daughter play?
She's a middle blocker.
And she's a senior?
Correct.
Is she getting recruited?
We are waiting on ACT scores right now. I know.
It's got to happen. The ACT scores have to happen.
We're waiting on the scores, and students are waiting on those scores.
Right. Well, good luck to her.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen. So what kind of car was this?
2013 Ford Focus.
So the $1,300 that you're suing for is your deductible?
That's correct.
Okay. But you're suing for $6,000 and you say you're out $13,000. How are you out $13,000?
I lost money from my job in Florida to come back 3 different times.
What were the other 2 times you came back?
I came back for the police report. I came back to meet with the insurance company. I had to come back.
Why would you have to come back in person to meet with the insurance company? You sure you weren't just coming to watch her volleyball games and visit your daughter?
No, I was coming back for the insurance company. I had to be there in person. She's only 16. Who's going to represent her?
Oh, you could represent her by phone.
No. So I'm coming to...
Yeah, I know you're coming, but you want him to pay for your flights to the tune of $1,371 for every flight that you took to come back here during...
I had to come back.
Why would you not be able to handle the insurance by phone? I've never...
I tried to do it. I tried to do it by phone.
And why would you have to come in person?
They asked me. They wanted me to. I wanted to be at the body shop when they showed up.
Oh, that's it. That's on you. Why would he have to pay for your flight?
Because she... So in order for the car to get looked at, it had to go to the body shop.
Yes, I understand that.
I didn't want her to have to drive to the body shop, sit there with the adjuster, sit there.
She doesn't have to do anything. She drives to the body shop and somebody drives her back and she leaves the car there. Or she drives and she sits. What's the big deal? What do you think she's doing with the car the rest of the time? She's driving it and going somewhere.
There's nobody to help her to do that.
Why don't you just listen? Even if I bought that you had to fly in to do the police report, at least I understand you don't want your daughter having to go to a police report. But honestly, you don't need to be there when they're... And then what's the third time?
The third time was when the car had to go from a clean title to a salvage title to get inspected. Because
why can't that be done from Miami?
I had to do like 5 power of attorneys. So I got
but we have power of attorneys in Miami.
I know, but I got to do that for Ohio.
All right, additional monies for a new car. You're suing for $2,645 for additional money for a new car. How do you figure? All the guy's responsible for is the damage to the car. And what he's saying is it was already damaged, so I'm only responsible for part of the damage. All right, I don't know if I buy that or not. It doesn't matter. What I'm asking you is, in what planet would he be responsible for $13,000?
Well, the $6,000 because I lost work. I had to leave.
Oh, I hadn't even gotten to that. You're suing for $6,000 in lost wages.
I had to leave Florida, meaning I have
What do you do for a living?
I I have a yacht, I have a party bus, I got a black truck service in Miami.
Do you rent out the yacht?
So I rent out the yacht and I drive the yacht. So I had to leave when I had to leave because
How are you going to prove $6,000 in lost wages?
It's the contracts I had to give away because I wasn't there to drive the boat. I had to go back.
How are you going to prove that?
I got the contracts from the people because I had to go back to Ohio. So there was no one there to drive my boat.
You don't have you have all these, and you're the only one who drives all three of them at different times? You juggle them?
Nope, I have somebody that drives the party bus. I have a driver that drives my black truck. So I'm the one that handles the boat.
What about the new car detailing? He needs to pay to detail the new car you bought your daughter?
The car was clean. Her car was clean.
Right. Why is he responsible for it?
Because once I bought the car, I bought it from I'm
not asking why did you detail the car. I'm asking you why you are suing him for detailing it.
I put down, this is the money I'm out of. I get her a car, and then now I got to go get another car, and then the whole car inside.
Right, but the only thing the guy did was damage the car. You made a decision to buy your daughter a new car, and now you want him to have to pay. I think there's a lot more going on here than just say you damage a car. I think that there's really bad blood between the two of you about who reigns supreme in her heart, when really it's not a competition. There is no competition. She loves you both. It's all good. She'd much prefer you get along.
The sounds of the season can often sound like this.
So, when are we getting some grandkids?
But with Hilton's season to stay sale, they could sound a bit more like this. Or this. Stay and save up to 20% off when you book before January 5th at Hilton.com. Hilton, for the stay. Minimum 2-night stay required. Excludes luxury and all-inclusive properties. Terms and conditions apply.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
I'm trying to make my daughter happy because she is in a situation where she didn't want to go into that house.
What is your counterclaim about?
Ma'am, he did all of these, everything that he sent to when he called my job, he told him that I wrecked a car. I didn't do that.
Why would you call the guy's job and do that?
I didn't call the job.
He called 9 times.
I mean, you know, he's helping to support that house where your ex and your daughter live.
I reaced out. I didn't call his job.
I told him that I backed out of my driveway into her car, and I was like, that's not what I didn't.
And why did you say that?
I didn't say he backed it to.
Here it is, Your Honor.
He backed from the street.
How do you know that he backed from the street when what he told your daughter was that it was a tire?
My daughter told me. She looked out her window. She said, "Dad, this is what happened." In the window from her room, she said, "Dad, this is what happened. He was on the street and he backed the car. He backed his truck into the driveway.
She can't know.
Her car is sitting in the street next to the driveway.
4:30 in the morning.
So the back of the car had. I mean, that's what she told me. What happened? I was thinking the car was on the other side of the street.
He also lied and said I didn't have insurance, Your Honor. And
right. Well, that got handled pretty quickly. There was really no damage to you because of that, because you do have insurance, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But my job told me that I could not come back until it was adjudicated because he told the court that. And he told the police.
So have you not worked since this happened?
The 2 weeks that he kept me out of work, that's one thing. And I'm not going for any more than that.
No, but that's my question to you is this hasn't been adjudicated. I'm here now, and I'm going to adjudicate. So what happened? They changed their mind about what?
They were waiting to see if I got a citation from.
So then they figured if 2 weeks passed and you didn't get a citation.
Then you can roll.
Okay. So your defamation case is all about whatever he told your boss?
Yes, he told.
But it didn't have any bearing on your job, right? Because
it took me out for 2.5 weeks, and
while they waited to see if you were going to get a ticket.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. All right, folks. Mr. Mock, the amounts that you're suing for are crazy. They're not the kind of thing that's compensable when someone has an accident. You tell me that he rammed into it, but you have no firsthand knowledge of that. That's pure hearsay. I have him saying it's a tire. I don't care what it was.
Yes,
I care what the damage is. I don't care which way it happened. The only thing I know for sure is that the $13,000 you're asking for is in another planet and ludicrous. That's not going to happen. But on your counterclaim against him,
yes, Your Honor,
I'm ruling 0 because I don't think it hurt you in any way, and it was his version of the facts. He says his daughter told. him that she watched you hit it. Did she ever tell you I watched you hit it?
No, it was 4:30 in the morning, Your Honor.
When you were moving the tire?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So
Yes,
she's
ma'am.
never told you I watched you.
No, she's never said that to anybody.
Has your relationship with her been affected in any way because of it? Okay.
No problem. I'm at every game. We do the same thing we always.
All right, you both at the games?
I can show. No, I can show you, Your Honor. I'm the announcer at the games.
Okay.
I'm the
Does
announcer
he
for
come
the
to the
school.
games?
He comes in town, and he actually does come to the games sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. So I am going to order you to pay him the amount that he was out in terms of the insurance, which turns out to be $1,300. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Outstanding.
And 0 on your counter.
So the plaintiff prevails to the tune of $1,300, not the $6,000 he was suing for, and the defendant gets nothing for his $4,500 loss. Let's see what Mr. Enoch has to say.
It's fine. I don't mind. Yeah. You know what? As long as my daughter has got what she needs, I don't care. It's fine. Everything else seemed a little far-fetched and a little ludicrous, but the whole thing is about taking care of her, so we're fine.
Well, all right.
Thank you very much. You have a good day, sir.
Okay. Now, let's see what Mr. Monk has to say. He only gets $1,300. Sir, what's your reaction?
Right now, I'm a little disappointed in the verdict, but I just had to deal with it.
Well, that's the judge's decision. There's nothing else you can do. You do have to deal with that.
Correct. No.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Good enough. All right, Harvey, what do you think about this case?
Well, Doug, I want to talk about the countersuit for a minute. This was a case where the plaintiff told the truth. So the defendant didn't win. There are two elements to defamation. One is proving that whatever is said was a lie. That didn't happen here. And then secondly, if you can prove that, you have to prove that lie was so bad it subjected you to scorn and ridicule in the community. That simply was not proven here. Certainly, the fact that the plaintiff told the truth is enough to knock the defendant out of court.
What is the last social event that your entire family attended?
My mother's 97th birthday. I flew all the girls back in. One of them got delayed for Hurricane Ian.
Right.
She literally came in for
complicated getting
6 hours.
there.
It was complicated to get everybody here, but how many times do you have a 97th birthday?
Right. And we had it at a restaurant in Miami called Casa Juancho.
Yep.
Right.
And we had Maria, even though it's
where we went for her 96th birthday.
And her 95th
birthday. And her 94th birthday.
No, it's just every couple of years we do a big one.
It's
but
funny.
we did, and it's a Spanish restaurant, but we had Mexican mariachis because my mother loves those, and it was a lot of fun.
Lots of balloons. Good time had by all.
Yeah, all the cousins. Yeah.
It's funny. I was thinking, with my family, if you said, when was the last time you had everybody all together for something? It would have been like once a year, twice a year when everybody got together. But in your family, it's every Thursday.
Yes, that's true, actually.
Every Thursday.
Well,
so
but
it's
my
once
girls
a week.
aren't there for that.
But they would be if they were in town.
I make them go. Every Thursday we have lunch at my mother's house.
And that is called?
Jueves Social, and that means Social Thursday. Right. And so we all end up, cousins, my sister, my brother, whatever kids are in town if they're home.
Cuban food.
Yeah, home-cooked Cuban food is delicious.
Right, which is really good.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay, things people love.
This is the plaintiff, Ronan. He says the defendant lost control over two dogs in the street, and one of them bit him in the leg. The woman refused to admit he'd been bitten. He was in excruciating pain. He has horrible anxiety now and is suing the careless woman for the $2,100 he's owed. This is the defendant, Linda. She says her dog sniffed the plaintiff's foot, and that's it. They didn't bite him. He didn't complain about a bite, and she doesn't owe this big phony a penny. She's accused of being in denial.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says that the defendant's dog bit him in the leg, and the defendant refuses to pay for his medical bills and anxiety. But the defendant says her dog just sniffed the plaintiff's foot, and he's trying to cash in now with a lawsuit because she lives in Beverly Hills. Some people, it's the case of a bad dog leg.
Thank you, Doug.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Ronan, you are suing Ms. Linda for $2,100 that you say you are out in emotional distress and pain and suffering because her dog attacked you. Tell me what happened.
Yes, so I was driving to a community support group on February 14th at approximately 6:30. I drove up to Beverly Hills, up in the hills, in the mountains, and when I parked my car, I rang the doorbell twice. I got no answer, so I ran around the house to see if I could find anyone, if I'm at the right address. All of a sudden, in the corner of my eye, I see a dog come running at me. I didn't have time to react or anything. He just ran towards me, bit me on my left leg, and ran away.
Okay, was the dog on a leash or not on a leash?
Yes, he was on the leash, yes.
Okay, so he didn't run away if he's on a leash. So, I mean, do you mean just a few steps? I don't know what you mean.
Yes, a few steps, yeah, I guess. I'm not really sure because I was disoriented.
Do you see the defendant at the time holding the other end of the leash?
Yes.
And did you say something?
Yes, I said something, yes.
What'd you say?
I said, the dog just bit me.
And what did she say?
I don't think she said anything. I think she said, "You're okay," or something like that.
And what did you say?
I said, "No, but the dog just bit me. I felt the bite. I raised my my pants, my jeans, and I saw the blood on my leg. I saw the bite on my leg."
Okay, and what did she say when you showed it to her?
I don't believe she said anything. She just walked away.
All right. So then, what do you do?
I went inside the house. I told my friends what happened. We came outside. And when she came back from her walk, I told her again, "Lady, your dog just bit me." And she denied it. She kept walking towards her house. She said, and I quote, "My dog doesn't bite." And she went inside her house.
All right. What happened, Ms. Linda?
Yes, that day I normally walk twice a day, around 4 o'clock and 5 in the morning. And I normally come out from the garage. When I come out, I saw some guy I never saw before, and I live in a private road, only 7 houses. Before I enter this private road, the big sign said, "Do not enter unless you have a permission from one of the residents." So anyway, I was just go straight to across the street from a garage. That is a grassy area. I normally bring my dog to do their business. So we are passing by on him, and my little dog, Kenya, 14 pounds, just sniffed his shoes. Maybe I should say 2 seconds. We were just passing by him.
Why would you let your dog sniff someone's shoes?
Just 2 seconds, because he was right there when we enter.
Okay, so your dog, according to you, sniffs his shoes, and then what?
Then went into the grassy area.
Then went to what? I can't understand you. I'm sorry. You went.
There's a lot of grass there and green stuff. So they normally
you kept walking, okay? But before you keep walking, does he say to you, "Hey, your dog bit me"?
No. When I finished, their business, doing bathroom, came out. And we are passing by him, and he did not say anything. My dog didn't even say nothing, just passing by him. And we went all the way to the end of the private road, took 40 minutes to come back. When I come back, I was surprised that a bunch of people in front of the house, about 10 people, mostly girls, young girls, and he was in a group also. They started screaming at me, "Oh, your dog bit his leg, and we saw the blood, and this and this and this." And, my dog are really freaking out because too many people around the house, and they're all yelling at me, including him. So I have to leave before getting anything happens. So I said that my dog did not bite. So I just walked away and get into, in a garage going to my house. And since then, I didn't hear from him or anything. According to him, he tried to knock my door to tried to talk to me, but my front door is a 7-foot, high fence around it. Unless he climbed over the fence to knock my door. That's not true, what he was saying. I just surprised, what he said.
Well, okay, so you scurry into your house because there's too many young people yelling at you, and you're afraid, so you go into your house, and then what? Does he ever write to you or call you, or he just sues you?
Nothing at all, because if he wants to contact me, I have a mailbox. I submitted picture of the mailbox outside the street.
Well, I mean, he was out there waiting to talk to you, and you walked away, so it's not like he didn't make an effort to talk to you. You've just testified that you turned around and walked back into your house and said, no, he didn't, and then you walked into your house.
No, that's not correct.
How much more does he need to talk to you? You said it didn't happen, and you walked in your house, and you closed the door.
Because I was afraid my dog was getting nervous. And that's fine,
but I'm saying, what else does he have to do? How many times does he have to try to talk to you about it? According to you, Mr. Ronan, what are your injuries here?
My physical injuries?
Oh, anything. You're suing for $2,100. Talk to me about it.
Yes, I had severe emotional stress. I had panic attack. I had a panic attack when I came home that day, and I have a history of panic attacks. I was bitten by a dog when I was 11 years old. I was bitten by another dog about 3 years ago. So I have a history of traumatic dog bites, and it really affected me mentally, affected me emotionally, and I have a history of panic attacks from these type of incidents. And sometimes I lose my speech. My heart is pounding. I get minor panic attacks, and I get severe panic attacks sometimes. So, not to mention that I have a scar on my leg right now, and I had to go to urgent care, and I had some minor blood in my leg.
Okay, when did you go to urgent care?
I went to urgent care the day after.
Why didn't? If it's so severe, why didn't you go to urgent care right away?
They were. I don't think they. I'm not sure.
Okay. Can I see the scar on your leg?
Yeah. I don't know if you could see it from here. Where is it?
Are you trying to find it?
Yeah. I grew a lot of hair since last time.
I'm happy to see any scar you want to show me. That's part of your case. You're trying to show me pain and suffering and emotional distress. So show me any scar you want to show me.
I can't.
Can't find it? All right, did you take any photographs of the injury?
Yes, I did.
Did they, when you went to urgent care, what did they do for you?
They just gave me some ointment. They said I had already got my shots from, I got my immunization shots, so they gave me some ointment and some cream.
What do you mean your immunization shots? What do you mean by that?
Every 10 years, I believe, I'm supposed to get shots for hepatitis.
So all they did was give you ointment?
Yes.
Did he show you the injury that day, Ms. Linda?
No, he did not.
When the young girls were screaming, what were they screaming at you?
They said, your dog bite his leg. And he was one of them, too. He wasn't shaking at all that time. He was shaking for 2 hours, but he wasn't. He was yelling at me, too. Your dog bite me, but you didn't say anything about it.
I wasn't yelling.
This is a picture that you took as she was going into her house, Mr. Ronan?
Yes.
Are these the pictures of the injury?
Yes.
That's it?
Yeah.
How is this a $2,100 injury?
Yeah, well, I've suffered a great emotional stress, and I got a panic attack, and I sometimes when I walk in the street now, I have to, when I see a dog, I have to walk across the street. I have to go back home. I'm very scared of dogs right now. And
my love, I can barely see anything. I see something, but I can barely see anything on here. I have now blown this up to the size, your hair is about 8 inches big on this. And there is barely a puncture on there, barely. So when you talk about $2,100 in damages, tell me why I shouldn't just glean from this that you're trying to make money off the lady in this Beverly Hills house. I'm just trying to understand how this could be a $2,100 injury. What lawyer told you to say that I don't get it.
Yes. Well, I suffered, like I said, emotional stress. And I feel that, it's really hard to recover from that now. Because I can't go outside sometimes because I'm afraid of dogs. I'm afraid to go.
I've had worse injuries shaving than this. I mean, I'm sorry if what you're saying is true. I'm sorry that you're feeling that way because it's not anything to joke about when someone truly is going through mental health issues. However, having said that, I still have to judge what this case is worth and whether this case happened, too. I'm looking at this, and I'm just trying to understand how that can be worth $2,100.
Yes. Like I said, I went to urgent care.
Obviously, Ms. Linda, the first thing he did was show his support group the leg, and some of those girls are yelling at you, I saw the blood and whatever else. So I think that happened. I don't think that your dog didn't bite him. I just don't think that is much of a bite. I mean, I just don't think that is a $2,100 bite. You submitted into evidence a lot of your psychiatric records, Mr. Ronan, and I appreciate that. A lot of them predate this, obviously. And so if all that had to happen is that you had to put ointment on it, then why wouldn't this be a case worth a lot less than $2,100? Because of the emotional distress that you say you suffered, right?
Yes. Yep. Yes.
Ms. Linda, I find that your dog, this isn't a criminal case. I don't have to find that your dog bit him beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. I have to find that it is more likely than not. That's all a civil case is. And I find it's more likely than not because I believe he did say something to you from the beginning, but whether he did or he didn't, you have an entire group of people standing out there saying, I saw the blood, and you're turning around and walking away, which is consistent with what he says happened originally, which is you turning around and walking away and continuing your walk. The difference between what I think and what the plaintiff thinks is that I don't look at that and call that's $2,100 worth of injury. I look at that and I see a dot. No one wants to get bit by somebody else's dog. You should have better control of your dog. You keep repeating that it's a private driveway. Obviously, he was invited by someone else who also owns that private driveway because that's part of the group that was there telling you, hey, stop, your dog bit. And you, instead of stopping and talking, go inside because you're scared or it's too many people, whatever it is, fine. But it's exactly the behavior he says you did originally as well, which is why all of a sudden all these people are out there yelling at you. I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $100. That's my verdict.
So the judge orders the defendant to pay the plaintiff $100 for the dog bite. Ms. Linda, let me ask you, what are you thinking about this right now? How do you respond to the judge's verdict?
Yes, if he approached me, leave something in my mailbox, I could give him more money than $100. He just wasted his time to only collect $100. He should contact me. I'm willing because I did not really see it. My dog, did something like that. I will say, I'm sorry, are you okay? Whatever. I'm not a crazy person, I always care about other people. If my dog did something, and I will give him some money to take care of himself. But did not happen that way. Sorry.
Do you still walk your dogs on the street now? Are you worried about that since they may have bitten somebody? You don't?
Never. My dog never did that.
All right. And do you pick up after your dog? That's the law in Beverly Hills,
Everybody have to have because private road, the city do not clean it. We have to clean ourselves, so we have to do it.
Yes, I know.
We have no choice.
I know. Mr. Ronan, let me ask, you got $100. That I know that's not near what you were seeking. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking, I got a panic attack right now. Actually, I have severe emotional stress from this. That's the case. That's the decision.
Well, I feel sorry for you over your attacks, and but unfortunately, that judge said that's about all she thinks your damages are worth. So sorry about that.
Right.
But that's the judge's verdict. You're going to have to live with it. Harvey?
Doug, I want to spend a minute talking about pain and suffering. When you sue for pain and suffering, frankly, it's not great to go into court and just say, okay, here's what I remember, here's how I hurt. The better thing to do is to keep a diary, that every day you're feeling pain, and frankly, more than every day, as you feel the pain, jot it down. Jot down what you're feeling. You can bring that diary into court, and then it's a blow-by-blow. And the reality is, if you do that and the judge doesn't believe you're making it up, you'll probably get more money.
Marilyn, who's a better driver between the two of us, and who's a better parallel parker?
Oh, my goodness.
Uh-huh.
I am an infinitely...
I'm going to remind you are under oath. All right?
I am a better driver than you are.
Oh, my God.
You like driving. I hate driving. You pump the brakes. You have a lead foot. You just get too close, and then you do the same thing all the time. When I say, back up, John, what are you talking about? I'm 6 car lengths, as you then get 6 car lengths.
Well, let me just say in my own defense.
That's how lazy I am, that even knowing all this, I still make you drive. And I am infinitely the best parallel parker on the planet Earth.
You are a good parallel parker.
I am.
But let me just say, it's totally unfair comparison because you don't have to drive with you sitting next to you, yakking away and criticizing every little thing. How, whether your turn signal was on early enough, whether you gave this guy enough space. Watch out for that guy over there. What do you mean watch out for him? I see him. So
what's the first thing you do? You disarm the
lane change warning system.
The lane change warning system, because every 4 seconds you're hearing it go off.
That's right.
I got an idea. Why don't you stay in your lane, buddy?
Those things are stupid. First thing I do when I get a car is disable all the safety devices. Right? Want the raw feel of driving.
But what does that say about how much I hate driving that I still leave it all to you? 12 hours to North Carolina, I just leave it all to you the whole time.
I think that's your way of saying I am a good driver.